So, Time magazine named Donald Trump Person of the Year earlier this week, and Joy Reid just cannot get over it. She cannot let it go. And yes, of course, even though the election is over, she is using this as yet just another excuse for her to compare Donald Trump to Adolf Hitler. Take a look at this.
Better or for worse is not much of a ringing endorsement, and we all know which one Trump falls under. And let's remember who else has been given this title in years past in the same category. Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin, Ayatollah Khomeini, and Vladimir Putin. In fact, Stalin won the distinction twice, just like Trump. Regardless of the company he keeps, we know how important these magazine covers are to Trump. Just look at this tour he gave the Washington Post in 2015 of his Trump Tower office, with a wall adorned with his various cover appearances.
Just absolutely ridiculous. And by the way, Time magazine also previously named Taylor Swift Person of the Year. So, Joy Reid, using your own logic, does this now mean that Taylor Swift is also comparable to Hitler, Stalin, Putin? I mean, just absolutely ridiculous. And let me just say, I understand that the Democrats had to use that line of attack. They had to compare Trump to Hitler. They had to call him an authoritarian during the election, because you guys had nothing else to run on. You had no other arguments. You had no vision for the future. You had nothing to deliver for the American people. So you had to rely on gutter tactics to fight the election. And guess what? Trump crushed you. It wasn't even close. And yet, after the election, you are doubling down on the most stupid losing strategy. No wonder your ratings are in the tank. So according to the LA Times, MSNBC ratings collapse post-election. Fox News surges as cable faces an uncertain future. And there certainly has been a lot of talk, speaking of uncertain future, of people and voters getting their news from alternative sources, from content creators and influencers, instead of relying on the mainstream media. And if we take a deeper look into this LA Times article, MSNBC's ratings are down 46% compared to the first 10 months of this year. By the way, of all the people still watching network TV, 70% of them, down in that last paragraph, 70% of them are watching Fox News. That means that only 30% aren't watching Fox News, and then that gets split between CNN, MSNBC, and other news networks. So things are really bad for the left-wing corporate mainstream media. TV Insider has more insights here. It says Morning Joe and MSNBC ratings revealed network has taken a hit since the election. Now, even though Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski tried to kiss the ring and bend the knee to Donald Trump, their ratings are down 35%. And by the way, Joy Reid's ratings, they're down 50%. Fox News is obviously having a great time with this. They keep pumping out headlines. MSNBC's O'Donnell, Psaki, and Wagner hit all-time viewership lows despite busy Newsweek. And of course, this really has been a busy Newsweek, and people like Joy Reid are, doubling down on stupid. They are doubling down on their loser tactics. So, speaking of racists, remember Tony Hinchcliffe's joke at Trump's rally in New York City? Look, I said at the time, I don't think the joke was appropriate for that setting, that venue. It definitely wasn't a smart move by the Trump campaign to not vet his jokes, but you know what? Trump ended up winning, so it's water under the bridge. And like I said at the time, Hinchcliffe is an equal opportunity offender. He is a flamethrower, a bomb thrower, and he is just provocative. That is his sense of humor. And he's known for roasting people. That's his claim to fame, right? Well, two white women got into a fight when he made a joke about Mexican food. And what I love about this is it wasn't Hispanics in his audience who were offended. It was a white lady, and she got so up in arms about it that she ended up calling the entire audience a racist, and she ended up leaving mid-show. Take a look at this.
Everybody relax. Let's not be stupid, Dr. Phil. Ladies. Let us get control of this. Hold on. Lady, yell at the guy. Is Was that a white woman saying that we're all racist? Oh my God. And you wonder why I moved to Texas? Why doesn't everybody take a deep breath and...
All of that over a joke about Mexican food. Like, why was that lady even in the audience in the first place? How do you accidentally go to a Tony Hinchcliffe show and not know what to expect? He is a roast comedian. That is his specific type of humor and comedy. He's an equal opportunity offender. So provocative, and yet she wants to get on her high horse and be like, y'all are racist, blah, 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 blah. I guess it's because she's sensitive about food. A lot of people are sensitive about food. I get it. I've struggled with weight my entire adult life. But, you know, it's not like he was fat shaming. It's not like he was making fun of fat people. If he did make fun of fat people, maybe Whoopi Goldberg would be offended. And that brings me to the next story. So Whoopi Goldberg is now very upset. She is angry at RFK Jr., and it's because RFK Jr. wants America to be healthy again. He wants Americans to eat better foods, eat healthier foods, to live a more active lifestyle. And now Whoopi Goldberg is accusing him of fat shaming people. She got a whole segment on The View this morning over this.
It isn't just about food.
No, it's not.
This is sometimes people
genetics.
are born genetically larger.
Agreed. I didn't mean to.
No, I know you didn't.
Yeah.
But I want to say this to
RFK.
That's his name. Because you're setting folks up for shame.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying. Maybe you don't know you're doing. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say you don't know, you don't realize what you do to people when you say stuff like that, because it doesn't work for everybody. And I'm going to show you, sir, because I weighed close to 300 less than 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And without the Mounjaro, this would not have happened.
There you go.
Take it off. Take it off. And I try to tell everybody, listen, this worked for me. This may work for y'all. You cannot take it out of people's hands if it can help. Because if we can keep people healthy, if we can get rid of diabetes, if we can get rid of all of the things cardiovascular, what's wrong with trying to do that?
Nothing.
You're wrong on this, R.
Also, the side effects are not horrible. But what does Kimberly Guilfoyle think of it? That's what I want to know.
She's going to agree. She got a body now.
Yeah. Where does Elon Musk come and RFK Jr., two medical experts? Who are they?
Elon's right on this.
Elon's right on this.
Yeah.
Also, maybe the brainworm will shrink. Never mind.
You're out of control.
Whoa, just a lot of mis and disinformation in that segment right there. And before I go down this rabbit hole, I just want to reiterate that I am someone who has struggled with weight my entire life. I used to weigh 250 pounds, so not that far behind Whoopi Goldberg. But then I got into running, marathon running. I got into swimming, and, you know, one of these days, maybe I'll even do a triathlon. I don't know. But all of that to say, I understand the principles of healthy eating, working out, exercise, motivation, discipline, all the things. So I'm not preaching this from a high horse. So Whoopi mentioned Mounjaro, which, to be clear, is an alternative to Wegovy and Ozempic. And then Joy Behar jumped in and acted as if, you know, the side effects of these medications are no big deal. Well, first of all, there is a difference between side effects and risks. Second of all, huge overlap, and just because the side effects don't affect you, it doesn't mean it's not dangerous for a lot of people. These shots, which are traditionally meant for diabetes and being used off-label for weight loss, have risks such as increased cancer, specifically thyroid cancer. Believe it or not, I had actually once looked into Ozempic because I would love to lose the vanity pounds I have. I would love to have a six-pack and be sexy and all that jazz. But because of my family history, I said, you know what? It's not worth the risk for me. I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. So they were wrong on that. There are huge risks, huge side effect risks as well for these shots. Second of all, RFK Jr. encouraging people to eat cleaner, to exercise more, that is not the same as fat shaming. It's not. encouraging people to live a healthy lifestyle. Look, I think what this stems from is body positivity has gotten too toxic. There is such a thing as too much of a good thing. And I get the core message, and I agree with the basic message of body positivity. I think it's okay to feel comfortable in your skin. Now, that doesn't mean that if you're overweight or living an unhealthy lifestyle, that's healthy. It's not the same thing. So I think the message, the good message for me anyways, that I think we should take away from body positivity is don't shame other people. Just don't. Don't make fun of someone for being fat. Don't make fun of someone for being bald. Just don't. Don't judge people by their appearances. You never know what they're going through. You never know their story. However, it is factually true that there is such a thing as a healthy body and an unhealthy body, and that doesn't always correlate to weight. Blood pressure. A skinny person could have higher blood pressure than an obese person. Cholesterol. A skinny person can have higher cholesterol than an overweight person. So you cannot judge a book based on its cover. But what RFK Jr. is trying to do is trying to inspire all Americans to be healthier. That's not fat shaming. And body positivity, I think where it's gotten toxic for me is that instead of just saying, hey, be comfortable in your skin, it's gotten to the point of fat is healthy or unhealthy is healthy. And those things just aren't true. We still have to have truth in science. And the craziest thing to me is this body positivity messaging keeps coming from the left. The people who claim to be pro-science are the ones rejecting the science. So I just wanted to give my 2 cents there. Now, speaking of political correctness, Jill Biden was at the White House today. She had a Christmas ceremony and she was greeting everyone happy holidays. Well, a kid shouted back, "It's not happy holidays, it's happy Christmas." You go, kid. Take a look at this.
Hello. How are you? Hi. Happy holidays. Hi. Happy Christmas. Happy Christmas. Yes.
Good job, parents. You are raising your children right. Now, I don't know if anyone else hates daylight saving time. I do. I think I like it when we go backwards. I like it when we gain an extra hour of sleep. But jumping forward, ugh, who likes that? Well, Donald Trump just posted this on Truth Social. The Republican Party will use its best efforts to eliminate daylight savings time, which has a small but strong constituency, but shouldn't. Daylight savings time is inconvenient and very costly to our nation. Come on, Republicans, you can do it. You can do it. Like I've said many times before on this channel, Trump isn't even in office yet, and it feels like he's more of a president than Joe Biden is. There is so much getting done. And it's not just Trump. Many people that Trump has nominated for his cabinet positions are also being very active. One of those people is Tom Homan, who, as you see here, recently met with New York City's Mayor Adams. And look, a picture can say 1,000 words. And I think the body language of both of these men says a lot. And both men have said publicly that they had a very good meeting. Both of them are expressing positive sentiments about their meeting. According to NBC News, his goal is the same goal I have. NYC Mayor Eric Adams meets with incoming border czar Tom Homan. And that wasn't just it. So Eric Adams actually held a press briefing after they met, and he admitted, hey, Donald Trump is actually right. There is a crisis at the southern border. He's been saying this for a while, but what was new this time is he acknowledged the 500,000 children who are missing because of Joe Biden's border policies.
We have 500,000 children who had sponsors in this country that we can't find. We can't find them. We don't know if they're doing child labor. We don't know if they're doing sex crimes. We don't know if they're being exploited. 500,000 children. There's a level of hypocrisy that everyone that states they want to protect everyone but innocent individuals who are victims of crimes and children. I want to support and protect children and innocent people that are victims of crime. And those who don't understand that, it's not up to me to try to convince them. I know what my job is, my goal is, and I was clear of that while running and when I became mayor. Safety means everything to me. 500,000 children, we don't know where they are right now in this country.
January is right around the corner, so we'll see if Eric Adams actually follows through and cooperates with Tom Homan as well as the rest of the administration, but it's definitely looking better than the other cities and other mayors. So I'm really excited. It's been interesting to see Mayor Adams' evolution over the last few weeks. Like I said, it feels like Trump is already president, and we're not just seeing that in the political sphere, we're also seeing that at a state-by-state level in unrelated areas like education. So Boise State has announced that they have gotten rid of their DEI programs, their initiatives. I mean, just, woo! Coincidence in timing? Or are these woke institutions realizing, hey, the people are sick of it?
Boise State University has joined the trend of discarding their DEI programs and offices on campus. At least that's according to an email sent out Tuesday. The Gender and Student Equity Centers are gone. They closed them over Thanksgiving break, only telling students about it yesterday.
Look, it's not that anyone is against diversity and inclusion. What people are against is forced diversity and promoting people who are not qualified into positions that they have no business holding. And I think that should apply to anyone. It doesn't matter of your skin color, gender, religious, I don't care. I just want someone who is qualified to be in a position, regardless of all the external attributes and characteristics. But as always, all of this is just my analysis and commentary. That is what's going on in the world of politics from my point of view, and I would love to hear from you. A lot of stories in today's video, so obviously feel free to comment on any of them, but specifically, I'm interested on your thoughts on the View segment with Whoopi Goldberg. Yes, I know a lot of people hate The View, I get it, but it is, for me personally, a subject that hits close to home because I have struggled with weight, and then I am a firm believer in healthy eating and exercise. It's all about food in versus food out, or, well, calories in versus calories out, and so do you agree with Whoopi Goldberg? Are you against what RFK Jr. is preaching? Do you think RFK Jr. is fat-shaming people? Or do you have my take? Or maybe you think I'm wrong and there's a middle ground somewhere, or just another perspective that I haven't considered. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you haven't already, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. I know it's a simple thing to ask for, but it really does help me reach more viewers like you in the algorithm. Be sure to smash that subscribe button and to check out one of these videos.